Well, we were right when we were talking about Cole Davies, huh?
Oh my gosh. So I don't. This is probably going to sound super like we're the best of the best, uh, but I feel like everything that you and I touched on Cole Davies last week, they brought up during the race day live broadcast of like, he really looks super confident out there with the starts and for a young guy, and I was like, that's what we said on.
Well, it's because we're the number one podcast in
But
motocross, so obviously RC listens to our full episodes every weekend.
hashtag hard
Yeah,
R.
and he did. I mean, he
Yeah.
freaking hole shots the main event this time, not just the heat race, and then just cool as a cucumber, ticking off laps. By the way, correction, sorry, all my New Zealand folks. He's a Kiwi. He's from New Zealand. He's not from Australia. I think one of us said that he was from
Did we
Australia.
say
I
Aussie? Oh, my bad.
I,
It's probably
I
me.
don't remember saying it necessarily, but somebody commented on a YouTube video, so I must have said it somewhere
Gotcha.
along the line.
Okay. Kiwi, Kiwi, Kiwi,
Yep.
Kiwi. Okay.
I'm sure that would be annoying for those people when us stupid Americans mess that up. So shout out Ben Townley. Shout out who else is from New Zealand?
Dude, that's a shout out Tony Cutler.
Don't know who that is.
You do, but you don't remember. Literally met this guy 10 times,
okay.
but cool.
Oh wait, yes, TCE person.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know him. What a good person. There's like three trainers in this sport that do not get enough credit for the work that they do. Ben Townley, Davey Millsaps, Nick Way.
Oh yeah.
Those guys, they know their stuff. Could you think of a better person to help usher in a young Kiwi on how to come to the States, how to have success, and how to work through adversity, the hype, the rigors of being a pro athlete? Ben Townley's seen it all. He probably is. There's nobody better to help this kid be successful in
I
Supercross.
wonder his background. I'm so curious because is he like a hardcore? Like, is he a farm boy? Like, what is his family up to? I'm very curious because I also don't know Ben Townley's background, but I sense that Townley is a grungy farm type dude, like working out in the yard type of guy, like a Tomac. When I listened to the Tomac interview with Gypsy, I was like, oh, no wonder he has the mindset that he does because that's just his life. He embodies it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's out there like just working on the ranch, doing whatever the heck, whether it's like feeding and taking care of the animals or fences or just the property in general. Like it's just a different lifestyle than a lot of us in third world countries like live now. I mean, think of the way I was just so spoiled in that I didn't have to try hard to do anything. I didn't have chores. I didn't live on a ranch that I have to take care of. I didn't work on my bike. I got done riding when I was little. My dad would because my parents were divorced, so my dad would take my bike home. All I had to do is just get picked up from school and go ride my dirt bike. And yeah, there was something about that I think it didn't instill the values of how you do one thing is how you do everything. Like just hard work all the way around, whether it's yard work or gym work or motos. Does that make sense? Like you can tell.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. There's like that extra, like that dog in you. You get
Yeah.
that little bit of that extra fire. And I always tell the people this, like, I equate it to like, dude, me and Mary, we grew up very differently. My dad's from an island, dude. You know, Tony, you're doing manual labor, dude. He's not hiring a contractor. If you want a roof put on, you better get your ass up there and you better help dad. I mean, I was also spoiled, I got to race dirt bikes as a kid growing up, so it can't be too, but like seeing like Mary and the way that she like wants to like raise Maeve and like, oh, we'll do this and that. I'm like, no, like don't coddle her too much. Like, dude, Eminem wouldn't have been Eminem without 8 Mile. Like the dude's famous because he had to struggle quite a bit. Like, come on, you don't want to take like the freaking 3/1/3 out of out of Eminem, or else he ain't gonna be famous. You know what I mean? So, but no, you're right. Like we see that grit. Like look at Stu, look at Ricky, look at Chad. Like those are the greats of our sport. They didn't start out at a facility. They didn't start out with a contract for 100K, from like 50s like some kids do. I think it was later on they got some good contracts, but hearing their stories about how it was like humble beginnings, like Stu and their family, they were either going to race or they were going to eat. It's like
Isn't that
it's tough.
interesting? So it's two different ways, right? So you
Yes.
compare that, and we're literally making up this person's story, but let's say Cole Davies is that type of person that has the grit, right? And was just raised in that type of way. I have no idea. We're making it up. Versus Deegan, right? Where everything is kind of on the platter for you. It's available to you.
Yeah, everything's available.
So with that, it is the advantage is that you are taught how to think to have a higher thermostat, so to speak, so that you have a higher, like your baseline belief systems are higher.
Yes.
My family lives in this type of home. Obviously, I'm going to have this type of home. My family drives these types of vehicles, or my dad was famous in motocross. Like all of the things, you have a belief system that is just naturally maybe bumped up a little higher. The other person, gritty person, might not have that, but they have a baseline fundamental understanding of just like their life is like they fight and they work and they just do it. They just do the thing.
Yeah.
So you just
that's a really
champions.
Good
you have
point.
to combine those two things.
Yes. Yeah. I think where and we're not saying, because I know someone's gonna clip it, where Deegan, you still have to ride the bike. Like whatever Deegan was given, that doesn't equate to talent. That kid still has to work his butt off and stuff like that. So we're still huge fans of his work ethic. But that's a really good point. And I think where the underdog, like again, making up this guy's backstory, Cole Davies or Chad Reed, is when things do get tough, when you do have to push that little extra bit, I feel like they're already prepared. So like if you do go down to a showdown, tied in points, Deegan or anybody who is, not had to fight as hard, to get the options or opportunities, not necessarily the talent. If that underdog mentality is like, oh, I know what it's like to have the pressure, to have to like push through the burning forearms, and to like have that voice in the back of your head where like, if you don't win, you are not going to eat tonight. Like, I feel like that's a little bit more of an advantage when things are tough, when you're in that pressure cooker, when things are on the line. You know what I mean? We'll see if it ever comes down to it, which I feel like it might, because Cole Davies is making progress very quickly. We might be able to see the Deegan Davies showdown sooner than later. I don't think I've heard of a kid other than like maybe AC who came out swinging in their first race and then whole shotted and led like most of the main in their second showing.
No, this is going to be a bold statement, but he looks better than any rookie I've ever seen.
Agreed. Because even AC
or
mistakes,
Jet or any of the ones I can think of.
Yes.
I mean, AC was lightning fast, but he didn't necessarily like look like the full package. Where
correct, he was fast, but there was a ton of mistakes. I mean, we should probably do like a rewatch of that to kind of knock him all out. But Davalos fell. I don't know if you remember that, like going through like a flat left-hander. Baggett kind of got caught up a little bit, so like AC kind of had.
And I got a bad start, so I was kind of out of the picture in that one.
Yeah, oh man, if AJ was up there, oh boy, watch out. but yeah, I mean, just things just kind of fell into it. Where Davies looks like AJ. If you changed his number and put him in the same like gear as anyone else, I couldn't tell him apart from Moseman, from Anstey, and these are guys that have like they're tenured in this class. You know what I mean? So
he looked better than all of them. He looked like he looks like Jet. He rides like Jet.
Yes, he does.
So
he really does.
He is really he's going to come into the picture really quickly here. And he didn't really put a foot wrong that whole main event, other than that very quick front end wash that he saved, by the way. And then it took him a few laps to maybe rebound from that speed wise. But then he did end up catching back up. And he passed DeFrancesco, however you say his name, for fourth?
Ryder D,
Yeah, fantastic. If you guys enjoyed this podcast clip and you want to listen to full episodes, you can do so on Spotify and Apple Music. If you want to send in your own video submission, you can join us in the Moto Academy family inside of the Moto Academy app by just going to themotoacademy.com. That's also where you can sign up for a class. Okay, guys, See you next episode.